Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So this is going to be your weekly read from December 8th through the 14th. But before we get started though, I just have to say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all the ways that you lift this channel up, lift me up, and lift each other up. Truly, this channel would not be what it is without each and every one of you guys, and all of your love and support is truly felt, and it makes me melt. So thank you guys so much. I love you back. So let's get started. So as of the 8th, as we walk into this week, we are greeted with a half moon in Pisces. And so for Virgos, it's really a call to find balance between our practical side, our intuition, as well as our compassion and our empathy, because we are sensitive to others during this time. And so it's important to maintain healthy boundaries to avoid being drained or becoming overwhelmed with others' energy. And so as we come into this week, it's important to wear it's important to wear our prism or our cloak to really protect our energy, as well as, like I say, still stand in that love leadership. Still stand with finding that balance of our intuition, our practicality, and then also our compassion. But coming in as well with the tarot, what we're starting with, and I think it fell in this order, there we go. We're standing with our self-control, and like I say, it's with your prism of light surrounding you, your prism of energy. This is also about enterprising. You're very pragmatic at this time, and you're also standing on business with material success, financial management, and more importantly, a focus on security. And that honestly doesn't surprise me at all. Basically, you're protecting your energy of all sorts and of all ways around, which is highly admirable and important during this time. But you're also, like I say, standing on business, and you're coming across with your leadership as a wise, charismatic leader. You're using your words, you're good at your communication, but also standing in your ethics and standing in the way where you're inspiring others through your honesty, through your passion, and then also through your integrity. But right now, what Spirit is really saying with these two kings back to back is that this is the time to really stand in your love leadership. And as you can see, you may be dealing with a fire sign, either be Leo or Sagittarius, or even to another Virgo or a Scorpion or a Scorpio at this point. Now on the 9th, the moon is going to be entering Aries. And so this is where we're filled with energy and, more importantly, confidence in our skills, in our gifts, and in our abilities. And so this is a time where you're able to act spontaneously. I cannot talk. Spontaneously. But also to being spontaneous or standing in that spontaneous energy with responsibility. And so it allows us really to adapt and be in the flow, as well as tackle projects and tasks with ease. And with the Queen of Swords, this is absolutely what that represents. You are standing in your confidence. You're standing as an indomitable leader and indomitable independent, but you're also standing in your ethics and your integrity with strong character and organized. So like I say, this is where you are really embracing your Virgo when the moon enters Aries this week on the 9th. Where it gives you that extra ability, that extra confidence in your skills and your gifts. Because what this Queen of Swords is embodying is that Virgoan energy of that strong character in ethics and beliefs, but also too in our work, in our diligence, in our commitments, as well as too in our way of, how I would put it is, basically our commitment to our work, like finding ways to go with the flow. If something's not working this way, being open to adapting to it, but also having that diligence to keep going, to keep learning, and to be in the flow. And so, like I say, this is an opportune time for any type of problem solving that you've been putting off. And what Spirit is reminding you here is basically, what I see in this is a lot about business, about your career. Some of you may be coming up on a promotion, working towards a promotion, or stepping into a new role of leadership. And it's really about learning it. It's about leading other people. So it may also be a job where you actually are taking on employees or reports underneath you and managing a team. Or this could be in a self business where you really truly are just, you're getting into the flow, you're adapting to what's worked, what hasn't been successful, but also too, like I say, it's something that something in your work basically deals with your people skills in the way of really standing in your empathy and standing in your compassion. And what Spirit is saying here is, this is the time to have faith because you are literally one step away from success. And more importantly, you're committed to completion. But this is about exploring new territories and learning new skills, learning new avenues. Also, too, it's about seeking cooperation and collaboration. Like I say, a lot of you could be working with teams at this point, or to a project that requires different types of contractors or different types of subject matter experts, as I would put it. With the Ten of Pentacles too, this is really truly about lasting wealth and prosperity. Your family life at this point is also really a focus for you. And so it's all about stability, not only in your foundation with your family, in your foundation with business, but also in material success. And this is where it's really coming to the forefront or coming to the surface. And on the 10th, the sun, which is in Sagittarius, is also trine with the moon in Aries during this time. And so it brings us a little bit of luck as well as positivity, especially when it comes to health, relationships, and life success. This is about your Ten of Pentacles. And truly at this point during this week, as we come into the middle of this week, this is where it's really going to start coming to fruition, start manifesting into the 3D, where your rewards will start to really shine and start to really form together, where you can see that foundation in each aspect, in your relationships, in your health, if you've been really focusing on your diet or getting your sleep, taking care of your temple and treating your body like the temple that it is. And also too, like I say, in your relationships, working through aspects, life success as well for your career or with what you're building if you're self-made. But with the Page of Wands in reverse, some of you could have felt, or some of us could have felt afraid to explore or have experienced blockages in our creativity. This week is the week where that kind of parts, basically. And it also too, you could be feeling like you've been receiving a lack of progress, where you've been working and working, but not necessarily seeing what's coming to fruition or having things come to fruition the way that you'd like. With the Four of Wands, this is about your harvest, your success, and your bliss, as well as your balance and harmony. But things will settle down, especially if things have been busy lately, if you've been feeling overloaded, maybe trying too hard. Like I say, what Spirit is reminding us here at this time is that is nearing an end. You are standing in the High Priestess power, where you're utilizing your psychic energy as well as your perceptiveness. You are coming across as mysterious to others. I will fully say that too. But in a lot of us too, what I see is that we're really working towards something where it's a spiritual healer, a spiritual teaching, where we offer that to others. We're receiving that to find our grace and our place of peace. But really, you're embracing that High Priestess power. And what Spirit is saying here during this time is that with the Three of Cups, that celebration is on the wing for you. This is about sharing. And like I say, that's why I say I got a lot of spiritual teaching involved with what you do, whether it be with children or even elderly too, is kind of what I'm seeing. But either way, this is where you're coming together in celebration. You're recognizing that unity is strength. And there could be a lot of social events coming up here in the next couple weeks that are really allowing you to shine and to let others shine, to lift everybody up and celebrate the collaborative projects that you've been working on. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, if you feel comfortable, share your story in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below too if you don't feel comfortable. But either way, let us help lift you up on this channel, help support you here on the Honey Sea Star Tarot as this place of peace, because truly what you're building at this point is absolutely incredible. Now, what I also see too is that things will speed up. On the 11th, the moon is going to be moving over into Taurus. And that helps us really with increasing money, increasing material possessions. We're also focused on family and home, as well as compatibility and the enjoyment in creating places of peace. And so expect that during this time, not only will you be busy, but what you're building, things will be manifesting very rapidly. There will be fast progress, though I would caution you, be careful of haste. Quick growth sometimes can lead us to putting temporary band-aids out there, but we never get back to it to truly refine and to truly set things up with a strong foundation. So just word to the wise, treat temporary band-aids as they are, not necessarily as the permanent foundation. As an example, I was working with a business where it was just amazing. Like seriously, in the first, they had a very slow start. I shouldn't put it that way. That's over dramatic. They had a slow start anyway. And finally, when they hit it big, they saw 20% growth, net growth in their business for 5 years in a row. And so at that point where you've got so much growth in your sales and your customer base, managing the inventory, the volume, trying to make it a sustainable plan as well as a successional plan, there were a lot of band-aids put in place in those 5 years. And so it was one of those things where we'll make it work, and it did. However, getting the opportunity then became an issue where they were only focused on that growth and they didn't come back to refine, or they really struggled to come back to refine because they had built a foundation that essentially, like I say, just kind of be practical about it, but they were band-aiding systems together, so they were managing them. Oh, excuse me. I lost the light and I bumped the camera there. But they were managing inventory on spreadsheets, for instance. They were calculating volumes on spreadsheets, and they weren't necessarily allowing the systems to work for them since they were not compatible with each other. So it was very much a situation where it's like you make it work, but it only takes you so far, if you will, if that makes sense. And so right as the moon is moving into Taurus, it helps us increase those material possessions, increase that money, but it also helps us to preserve. It allows us to see that things, see things through the veil, to dream as high as the mountain, to dream that the moon is purple, to embrace the unknown, as well as utilize our intuition. However, it allows us as well to be miserly about it so that we can see things as they are, not as we want them to be, I guess is the best way I would put it. See things in the way where it could be a higher risk, it could cause financial difficulty, could cause a winter, as I would put it, when you're going through cold weather or hard times. If you also, too, been feeling that way lately, where it's just you've been on that overhaul, right? You've been overworked, you've been overloaded, and you're feeling really at that poverty, that drained level. On the 12th, and I'll do a separate video on this one as well, so stay tuned, but we are going to be blessed with the 1212 portal. And numerologically speaking, this is a message of hope. This angel number is a significant message of positive change through spiritual growth. It's a time of new beginnings, but for Virgos in particular, it's a focus on positive change in relationships and cultivating deeper connections by embracing vulnerability and letting go of the perfectionist expectations that we hold or that are held for us or towards us. And so it really, especially in the way of relationships, it really leads us towards compatibility, focusing on what works for us, what fills our bucket, as well as who allows us to fill theirs. Like I say, it's embracing that vulnerability to cultivate deeper connections without expectation. And through this work, like I say, we're coming into the beginning of the week really focused on career, feeling overloaded. Then we move over into an increase, especially with a little bit of luck. And then towards that 1212 portal, it allows us a message of hope just when we think that things have not been paying off, that we're almost to that point where we're just needing to fill our own bucket. What Spirit is reassuring us during that time is that work towards your goals will pay off, there are financial gains coming your way. It's through the patience, through that positive outlook, through finding the right support system, through embracing that vulnerability, cultivating those deeper connections that aren't just at the surface. This is where we see our rewards, through that type of finding the right tribe, basically. And like I say, I'll do a separate reading on the 1212 angel number because it is actually quite beautiful. But really trusting in the aspects of who you're working with, in your relationships, in home, family, compatibility, and who really brings joy, laughter, who makes your heart as light as a feather, as well as who is allowing you to make their life and heart as light as a feather. This is where you're meant to be. And this week opens that doorway. This 1212 portal opens that doorway for us. And this is a new path with the Two of Staves. A new path will present itself, I'm thinking and feeling at this point, on 1212 for us. A new doorway opens. But really it's about a new opportunity, a desire for change, and it's driven by that desire for change. The moon during this time as well, which is in Taurus, is also going to be sextile with Saturn, which is in Pisces. And so there's an increased sense of responsibility. But Spirit is saying you can juggle it well. You can find balance in this busyness and through your time management to really make sure that you're filling your bucket as well as filling others' buckets so that it's a sustainable practice. It's a strong foundation where it's also a symbiotic relationship. It's a symbiotic practice that fills your bucket up just as much as when you release it as well. And so there's strategy involved. It's coming to the table with commitment to your goals, pursuing them with care, but like I say, most of all, strategy. Where you're investing your energy and how you're investing your energy so that you can invest it wisely. And it's through really embracing that vulnerability, through the connections, not just at the surface level, but those deeper cultivations that really truly allow the time of new beginnings, the time of hope, but also too a time of celebration, a time of coming together where there's joy, there's friendships, there's lasting relationships, there's lasting wins, there's win-win situations. And it's, like I say, it's from standing in your Queen of Cups energy as an emotionally supportive figure and potentially even having emotionally supportive figures coming in to you or towards you. But really at this point, it's, what I see in this is that you're also very much standing in your emotional intelligence. There's an intuition that you've learned to trust through time as well, and standing as basically the power of the empath, or in the power of the empath. Wow, I can talk. Really, this is where you'll find that you are coming into your love leadership, or this is how people are seeing you. It's through that intuition, following your intuition through creativity. But also, too, what I see in that is that your spiritual gifts are absolutely heightened during this time. And so it's important to make sure to pay attention to the divine, to the signs, because the divine will be speaking to you at this time on the 1212 portal. Now, like I say, with the Mars sextile and Saturn, we will be pursuing goals with care, nurturing them like a mother can with that mothering energy or that empress energy. But on the 13th, Mercury is also going to be sextile with Venus. And this is really truly where, Mercury is in Sagittarius. And Saturn, I'm still getting over a bit of a cold here. But Saturn is currently in Pisces. And so, I totally switched up there on my notes. Let me try that again. So Mercury is in Sagittarius and Venus is in Aquarius. Forgive me there. But what this presents for us on the 13th, after we get our message of hope, after we get this new doorway that comes in on 12/12, is a creative energy that fills us with light and inspiration. And like I say, this is where we're stimulated through eloquence and adaptability, where a new door will come to us that creates a perpetuating cycle, a self-sustaining cycle with your ideas, with what you're building in your relationships that are focused on reciprocity. So as one thing gives, another receives, and as it receives, it gives, and it fills a perpetuation between the two that leads to success. But this is what's coming towards you. This is the door that's coming towards you this week. And with the Four of Cups, like I say, this could be a point where coming into this week, you've been feeling like you need to reevaluate, reposition yourself. This doorway between 12:12 and 12:13 is a doorway that's going to open for exactly that reason. You've been manifesting this. And with the Three of Pentacles, you're being recognized at this time for your meaningful work. You're also going to be receiving your monetary rewards during this time. It's going to be manifesting in a financial way, basically. But what I really see in this is that some of you could be, in the spotlight, whether it's social media or, like I say, walking into a leadership position in your career, coming into a position as really becoming self-employed, starting that business, taking that leap, refining aspects, standing up in leadership through your education, through teaching, through spiritual guidance, through your creativity. I also see music in here quite a bit. But basically what you do, the path that you take or have taken in this life, that's basically been where you've been following your heart and embracing your shadow, and also too turning those wounds of the shadow, those darknesses of the shadow, into wisdom. This is the time where the doorway or a doorway will open, because you're standing in that shadow work, that strength with eloquence and adaptability. And as the moon moves into Gemini, it's all about the mind. It's all about communication, and it's all about networking. And so, like I say, you are being seen right now for the work that you're doing. On the 13th, you'll really start to see this manifestation come into play. But it also has a place with learning, like I say, whether it be teaching or receiving guidance, is how I would put it, or learning. But with the moon in opposition during this time with Mercury, again, the moon's in Gemini, Mercury's in Sag, your spiritual gifts are also heightened during this time. And this is where Spirit is really reminding you that, again, this is material success coming in. There's a yearning. There's an abundance coming in. But also, too, that wishes really, truly do come true. This is really about embracing that throat chakra and finding your voice. Also, too, like I say, with your spiritual gifts being heightened, this is where you're really embracing your passions. You're speaking your passions. You're making the right partnerships. The Lovers card, someone could be coming in. What I see is you could be working with a Gemini as well, for instance. But what it really represents with the Lovers is that it's the embracing of the light and the shadow. It's finding that balance, that symmetry, that harmony through integration, and through the support of opposites and reciprocity and polarity. And so you could be meeting somebody, like I say, that's either a Gemini. It could just be the moon's energy being in Gemini coming out. But expect the connection with divine, with what you're building, to really come into play here. Excuse me, my nose is all stuffy. And fall into balance with this new doorway that's opening up on the 12/12 portal. And as we close out the week, on the 14th, the moon is going to be conjunct with Jupiter. Both of them are in Gemini. And Jupiter, being our planet of positivity, is going to shine through with opportunities of significant financial gains, opportunities of health. So if you've been under the weather, this may make you basically really help you bounce back, give you the energy, because health is wealth, right? But particularly when it comes to artistic ambition, it's about finding and giving voice, learning and apprenticing, teaching. But it's about, also potentially new employment opportunities. But it's good news about money, career, education, and home front. Not only in the stars on the 14th, but also with the Page of Pentacles. And again, back to back, we've got two Geminian, energies here. And then, of course, at the bottom of the deck, we're standing in our Virgoan power, our Virgoan energy of success, prosperity, and material comforts, where our fruits are really coming into harvest. The fruits of our labor are really starting to manifest. And this will be closing out the week with the Nine of Pentacles, really feeling that inner peace that what we've been building, what we've been working so hard for, is coming to fruition, and everything is falling into place. Everything is ready. And if that resonates, by all means, please share your story in the comments below. or just put a heart if you feel comfortable. But by all means, please let us celebrate with you on this channel, raise you up, because this truly is a wonderful, amazing week, especially with that 12/12 portal where things will be coming to fruition. And so it's worth the celebration. I used to work for a wonderful business that basically believed in a culture where we celebrated our successes. We work hard and we play hard. And sometimes as Virgos, we got the working part, right? But sometimes it's hard for us to play hard too. Let this channel be that place of peace for you. We are here for you on this channel, and you deserve to be raised up in all of your successes and what you're doing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with the ladybug here, I did just want to pull some animal spirit totems for any additional messages. And with the ladybug, what Spirit is saying is this is the week where good luck is on your side. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about a loving and colorful you, because you bless the world with the color and good luck that you bring. I mean, I'm just saying, heart melt moment. If that resonates for you, by all means, please like, share, subscribe, get this message out, or help me get this message out to as many Virgos as possible, because at this point, what Spirit is saying here is on the 12/12 portal, from 12/12 to 12/14, the astrological stars are aligning, or astrology is lining for us, numerology is lining for us, and the energy is lining for us that luck is on our side, and you are protected. You are a master of finding life's flow. Spirit is reminding you to be in harmony with the rhythm and find your path, because your path will unfold when you're in balance. Persevere and you will succeed. Don't be overweighted, right? Don't take on more than what's just you. Don't take on negative energies. You have everything you need to be protected and happy, because now is the time to shine. And so, like I say, if you have been struggling with that, or feel like you've been struggling with that, need a little bit of extra pick-me-up, check out the Honey Sea Star store. All the designs are meant to uplift, inspire, and empower you along your day. And so especially this week when it comes to manifesting on the 12/12 portal, when we see that doorway of hope and positive change come in for a new beginning, and see what funnels through that door between the 12th and the 14th, this is a time where we can also help raise you up with some power words on the Honey Sea Star store. And so check it out. Let me know what you think. Also, too, if you have a power word that you don't see on there, let me know in the comments below. Let's design it together so we can share it with everybody on the Honey Sea Star. Lift up more Virgos with our power words and share together in our healing and in our journey and in our energy. Now, what I also wanted to do is just look at our major arcana. We really have it pretty simple this week, which is absolutely beautiful. And what I get as a synopsis is we are standing in our power, choosing love over hate. We are rising above basically any challenge, and new doorways are presenting themselves. This is a time of hope. And so for the music aspects, if you're doing any meditation this week, your sound baths, music therapy, play around with the chord progression in D. That'll really help with opening up your heart chakra. Sorry, I also have Champion over here. So what I'm really getting off this is you are absolutely being supported during this time. Just saying. Champ's my biggest supporter. He's my biggest cheerleader. But with the heart chakra, it's all about knowing that you are actively supported. That you are constantly seeing the world through a compassionate lens. You're choosing love over hate, and you're holding a space for forgiveness for yourself, for others, each and every day, so that you can hold your heart as light as a feather, and more importantly, speak and follow your heart through your life, through your journey. And color therapy wise here, what I also see in this a lot is I've got a lot of reds, or not necessarily reds, but I've got a lot of oranges. A lot of energy in the way of new ideas, new beginnings, new projects and collaborations. But there's also the grounding of the green from the heart chakra. And so try playing around or wearing those, embracing those colors of orange and green when you're doing your color therapy this week. It'll really help you with aligning your chakras so that you can embrace the flow and call what's yours when we have that portal open on December 12th. Now, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I just want to thank you guys for all your love and support again, because truly this channel would not be what it is without each and every one of you. And I am so grateful for you, because truly you fill my bucket just as much as I hope these messages help and resonate with you and fill your bucket too. So, but either way, I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, love and light, and I'll see you in the next reading.